Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 24th. It is 6:21 right now. We got market opening up shortly in about 9 minutes, so we got some time. Let's start taking a look at the overall bias for today. Or what I'm gonna start off with is I'm gonna start marking up structure here so you have an idea of like where price is likely to push to. All right, got some structure over here. Got some structure over here. This little one. Got some structure down there. And then we got some structure down here. All right. For the most part, it looks cool. All right, guys. Looks good. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 24th. It is 6:23 right now. We got market opening up in about 7 minutes. If you guys are looking to take the breakout, we'll know the direction of the breakout in a few moments as we get closer to market open. Looks like it might be a buy today. We got a lot of liquidity kind of hanging out up here. So if we do get that buy signal, price will likely push back up to retest this area up here. Um, with that being the case, let me go ahead and mark up the overall bias for today so far. So today's overall bias, we've got, let's see, the short-term time frames are currently bearish neutral. So the 1 minute you can see prices below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. Same with the 5 minute here. So weird the things. I don't know what's up with my settings. For some reason, my settings are a little off. Or TradingView probably updated stuff and didn't say anything. It doesn't have the watermark in the back. Not that it's a big deal, but I'm just used to seeing the watermark in the back. Let me see if I can turn it on. Yeah, I really hate when TradingView updates stuff, but they don't give you an update. So like you don't know. Okay, so the watermark mode is right here. Ticker interval. There we go. Yeah, TradingView just updated it and didn't say anything. So, all right, I just have the watermark right there so I can have an idea of like, so I know what asset we're looking at. I don't accidentally trade something that's not. Now I got to do it to everything. What the fuck? Can't apply it to all. It's kind of annoying. All right, well, whatever. I guess I can do it real quick. Oh my God, they made me do it for everything here. I especially want it on here so I know what time frame I'm looking at. Whatever, I'm gonna do it real quick. Let me just refresh. There we go. Let's refresh these. Okay, there we go. I just need to refresh all the pages, I guess. And I hate when TradingView does that. They update and then they don't say anything, and then you're like it looks completely different. Okay, cool. I specifically want it for like the ones with multiple time for or multiple windows, so I know exactly what I'm looking at. So ES, NQ, YM, GC, etc., whatever. Um, Okay, so the overall trend over here, I'm just going to do a quick analysis, guys. We're getting closer to open. So short-term time frames right here are currently bearish neutral. Yeah, bearish neutral. 1 minute price is below the pivots. Trend meter's red. Pivots are angling down. Same on the 5. 10 minute over here, price is starting to shift below, so it's on the bearish neutral side. Higher time frames, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, they're all bearish. You can see prices below the pivots. Trend meter's red. Pivots are angling down. So again, we're going to do a quick analysis here. Nothing crazy. Bearish, bearish. Let me check my fundamentals real quick. My fundamentals for today are, let's see, mm, bearish. All right, so we're pretty bearish across the board. I think we're gonna be looking for some sells today. It's bearish, medium conviction. Market regime is currently in, we'll say, somewhat expansion. Algo entries, I'll kind of update that right now. Again, if you guys are looking to take the breakout, we don't have a buy signal yet, but I mean, it looks like price is going to push up, so we'll kind of wait and see. Looking over here for my algo entries for today. Again, there's not a ton of algo entries today. I'm just gonna put a couple extra ones here. There's only 3 target entries, but I'm gonna put a couple extra ones that are like close, just in case I want to take them. I'm gonna keep following them just in case, because you never know. I might need these extra entries if the other ones don't come up. All right, looks like we're good. So with that being the case, guys, market is about to open in a few moments. The breakout for today is going to be a sell. I was hoping for it to push up for a buy, but it is looking like a sell right here. Um, So we'll see if this pushes through. The reason why I don't really want to see a sell here is because we don't really have a lot of structure down here. I mean, we have structure, but we don't have a lot of liquidity to grab. A lot of the liquidity is hanging out up top. However, the overall bias for today is bearish. So if it does come down, that's perfectly fine. It's going to go in the direction that we anticipated. So here's going to be the most recent momentum that just passed. Right there, 35. So this one's already done with. If you guys are looking to trade within the trade, right? We typically like, well, I personally like to trade within the trade. This one's already done with, so it's a little bit overextended. I'd be looking for the next momentum to come up so I can kind of ride that trade within that direction. But again, if you guys are looking to take the breakout for today is going to be a sell. Markets open up shortly. We have a big red candle here already, so we might get a retracement back up. We might get this bounce up, or we might get the continuation down lower to knock out these lower levels right here. Right. So we got a big spike right here on open price. We've been seeing this for the past couple of days, guys. It's really tricky how these breakouts have been kind of playing out because it kind of spikes both ways. So you could get stopped out either direction depending on when you get into your position. So it's dropping down right there. There goes the breakout as it pushes down lower. Um, So depending on what your TP stop losses are, if you're doing a 50-50, I mean, everybody does it a little differently, right? The 50-50 would have hit already if you're doing the 40-80, which I think is the main one that most people are doing. If you're doing the 1 to 2, that one's currently still running, but the 50-50 is already done with. So if you did the 50-50 for a 1 to 1, that's pretty much done with. Again, the 40-80 is still running right now. So you're looking to get into that one. It's still currently running at the moment. Again, our overall trend is very bearish. So if you guys are looking to get into some trades here, these are some of the setups that are kind of pushing through. I'm looking at the confluences right now. The confluences aren't super great for a sell at the moment. I mean, they could get better, and there goes the breakout again. So depending on what you guys took, if you did the 50-50 full TP, if you did the 40-80 for a 1 to 2, also full TP. Um, Solid push right there. to the downside. It went in the direction of our overall, so we were looking for a sell here overall, but liquidity was sitting up top. So if I turn on the liquidity over here, there's a bunch of liquidity hanging out right here, right? So eventually price might push back up to kind of tap that area. So we'll watch it and we'll kind of follow and we'll see where it ends up going. But yeah, let's give it some time. Anyways, we're currently in expansion right now. Price is kind of dumping down a little further. If you guys are looking to get into something here again, uh, we'll see where price ends up pushing. But all right, I'm looking for some confluences here. So looking at this side right now, we currently have a low over here with a green candle. So I talked about this before. This is a nice reversal pattern to the upside. If this here holds, then we might be able to ride this back up if you guys are looking to grab liquidity because there's liquidity sitting up here, right? So we got that lower low with that green candle. If this pushes up, this would be entry for a buy right there. I mean, if you got to jump into that, your stop would be like somewhere around there. Your target would be at the liquidity up here. So this is a little risky. This is mean reversion trade. If you're looking to ride this back to liquidity, that's where the liquidity would be. So you basically run this for 1 to 2. You can see right there it's pushing back up. There goes the target area right there, liquidity, and prices grab liquidity right there. So if you guys wanted to take that trade, I talked about this yesterday. This is one of my older strategies. This is like the liquidity push, liquidity grab, something like that, along the lines. This is a strategy you can apply like early in the session when the volatility is super high. So like if I'm looking for buys here, now I'm probably gonna look for some buys because we have a lower low here with the green candle. This is what I like to see. I like to see lower lows with a green candle, and I like to see higher highs with the red candle. If I see that, that's a reversal pattern, right? Price is pushing up to the next level of liquidity over here. So if you wanted to push it up even higher, you could have. There was 2 levels of liquidity right there. So if you wanted the lower one, that was like an 80-point move. If you wanted a higher one, this is a 120-point move. It is pushing up higher. I'm going to keep studying this strategy or this entry. This liquidity grab type strategy. I mean, it's been working pretty well. Um, Again, I don't think I have a strict video, like a specific video for this strategy, but this is something we used to apply a long time ago when I used to trade reversals. A couple of things that I would look at would be like V1 variations, V2 variations, V3 variations, CV patterns, consolidation variations. Those are like mean reversion strategies, right? There was a period where we traded those a lot when market was very choppy. This is a choppy market, right? So this is why these strategies are working very well. Um, I think I might have to, well, I don't have to, but I'll probably be kind of shifting around a little bit with regard to the strategies that I'm following. So the algo is not going to go anywhere. That's going to be the first one that I'm going to be looking at, but I might include a mean reversion strategy. So I might swap out the MPS or the high-low scalp for a mean reversion strategy, so that I have one for a choppy market when market's chopping up like this, right? So we'll kind of see what happens there. You can see price is currently ranging right now. It's ranging between these two zones. So this is the big range right here right now. Here's a clean chart. I'm gonna leave this up here just to like mark up structure so that you guys can kind of see where price is bouncing between. Yeah, because this is the range right now. It's nothing crazy. It's just this is the range right now. It's a big range. You could trade within the range here. So now it's coming back down. So we have the clean chart right there just to show you guys where price is kind of bouncing between. It's this whole area down the middle. All right, so what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna mark up this bigger bullish move right here. So we have like the big move that we're kind of looking. This one's gonna be pretty huge. I don't know if this is actually gonna play through, but yeah. So we got this right here. I'm gonna turn off the liquidity. It's kind of messy. So if you're looking to take trades here, I mean, you guys can still look for some buys at the moment. I mean, personally, I'm not looking for some buys here because price is kind of stuck within this range. If I want to take buys, I want it to push out of this area above here. Um, or if I'm looking for some sells, I want price to push below this area down here. I don't really want to trade within the range. I mean, it's possible to trade within the range, but you'd want to trade at the extremes, right? So if you're gonna look for some buys here, I'd look for price to fake out, come back above here, and then I'd look for some buys into the range down here, or vice versa. I'd look for price to kind of push above here, fake out, and then pull it down here. And I'd look for some entries right here. So I could trade within the range, right? You don't want to trade in the middle of the range because right here is where market's going to chop up very much, and you don't really want to be stuck in there. Um, so we have the big range, right? What I drew over here. This is the big range, and we have a smaller consolidation zone, which is between the sessions right here and this structure. So I'm going to put right now that we're currently in market chop. My first algo entry is going to be right here at 657. So I'll just draw a line there so I have an idea. I don't miss these algo entries. 657, 659, 705, 709. Just gonna make sure I don't forget these as we get closer to these points. I just gotta make sure the confluences line up when I take these algo entries. ATR is currently at 40 right now. It's a little high, not super high, but it is a little high. There's another algo entry at 639. It's going to be on this next candle or the next two candles. But I wouldn't want to trade within the chop here. So I'll continue following it as price continues to push up. We're currently in profit right now. This is an MPS entry if anybody was looking to get into that. So this would be an MPS V2. This wouldn't be a PA because we have a higher high right here. You guys know that criteria, but this is basically a strategy within the move here. So the strategy within the strategy, we have the momentum push to the upside, which is based off this momentum signal, this buy signal. And then we have an MPS right here. We had a lower low, price pushed up, retraced on these red candles, and then this green candle right here confirmed the MPS V2. However, there was a red flag right here because there was a session. So this is the London high right there. So we're currently bullish at the moment. Again, if you guys are looking to take trades, you could trade within a trade within a trade here. This big green box is going to be this. I mean, it's pretty huge. It's pretty huge. Let's see what the numbers are. 290. Yeah, so this trade's currently running. If you're looking to take buys, I would take buys within this buy here. So this is one that I was looking to get into, like, within this area. This thing's kind of it's pretty bullish now at the moment. So the trend here might have shifted a little bit. Yeah, the lower time frames have shifted. They're now bullish. Um, And again, we just have a couple entries here which came up. So let's just review the entries that came up earlier. So this is a momentum trade right here. This is a momentum trade. Anything based off the momentum signal is just a plain momentum trade. So this is a momentum trade. This right here is going to be the breakout. This down here would be a liquidity grab. So you guys know what I marked up here. This right here is the momentum. And then this right here is an MPS. So we got a couple entries here, or a lot of entries actually, that kind of showed up so far. The market's only been open for about 10 minutes. This is another MPS pattern if anybody is looking to get into it. So, I mean, it's a bit overextended, so I think it'd be a little tricky if you guys want to jump into this here, but it is an MPS V2 pattern. We have a green candle here, retracement red candle, confirmation of a green candle right here for continuation. It's also engulfing. So this is another MPS V2 right here. But again, prices is quite overextended. We're out in the open right here. There's no structure. Let me see if there's liquidity sitting up here. There isn't. There's actually liquidity down here. So what I would be careful for, yeah, what I'd be careful for is a possible reversal back down. That it may happen at some point. I mean, it might not happen right now, but a reversal may happen at some point. What I would look for is a high with the red candle. So if you see a high with the red candle, then it's probably going to push back down to this level of liquidity right here. Because price always goes back to grab liquidity, right? So, all right, these are all the entries that came up today so far. Momentum, breakout, liquidity grab, momentum, and then MPS V2, and then another MPS V2 right here. If this gets a little messy, just let me know. I'll delete all these like text boxes and I can put them back up later at the end of the session. So there goes the other MPS V2, which is currently running in direction of the trade. Um, this was actually a pretty nice setup. I was a little tempted to get into it, but I didn't want to because it was overextended. So let's measure from this low now. Okay, so full TP on that MPS right there. So this is pushed up about 400 points. This is kind of what happened yesterday, right? We had some sells that came up and we wanted to get into it, but price was down like over 500 points. So it was pretty extreme how far price pushed. And that's why I didn't really get into certain entries yesterday, right? We had one algo entry, which was like the only entry for yesterday and it hit full TP. But the problem is we were overextended over 500 points. So in that situation, it's due for retracement. Same with this one right here. Like, I would have been okay with taking this if like this entry came up a bit lower, right? Like around here or like at the break. But the thing is, this thing's pushed up so far. I mean, not to say that it's not going to hit target, but it's pretty pushed. It's pushed up almost 500 points again, like yesterday. So again, another full TP right there. So there's quite a few entries which have came up so far, guys. Like it's been pretty accurate right now with our direction for the past, I guess, 10 minutes, 12 minutes or so. Again, every entry that I've marked up here, they've all hit full TP. There's another MPS pattern again setting up right here. But for this one, I would consider this one extremely risky because you're not going to be trading within the trade, right? I typically want to trade within the bigger trade. So for example, again, right here, we have this big trade, right? This momentum push. We already had two MPSs in between it. This right here, if this closes with a green candle, this is going to be another MPS, but it's not going to be a trade within a trade anymore because this target's going to be outside of the original momentum. See, you'd have to push out here for it to reach its target. And this big momentum trade is already going to be done with. So if you guys want to jump into this one, I think this would be the most riskiest out of all of them. But if you guys want to jump into it, I'll just mark it up for you guys to follow. It's not one that I would recommend. CJ caught the buy for 150 points. Roland caught the move within this buy. He's done for the day. Nice work, Roland. All right, guys, solid work for those of you who are catching these right here as we push up further. Again, this is another MPS running within the trade, but this one, the target's going to be farther than the actual big move here. So this big move's probably going to get hit. I don't know if this MPS V2 is going to continue because it's going to be, I mean, it's really overextended at this point, guys. I think it's over 500 points now. Almost. It's 430. So if it pushes past this range, then or past the momentum, then yes, it'll probably continue. But we'll see. All right, I'm just waiting for my algo entry right here. The algo is going to be the number one entry I'm looking for the day, guys. That's always going to trump over everything, unless the MPS does look really good. This one over here actually looked pretty good, man. I kind of regret not getting into it, but it's all good. I mean, same with these. These all look pretty good because they had the confluences, right? They had the lower low with the green candle. They had an engulfing candle right there. There you go. So the big momentum push over here hit for 290 points. The MPS V2 is about to hit again right here for 60 points. Again, what I would look for here, if you guys are looking for reversal. So we have a lot of liquidity hanging out right here, right? We got bullish liquidity sitting right here, bullish liquidity sitting right there. If this candle closes with a higher high with the red candle, the reversal is probably going to start to set up here. So just keep that in mind, guys. So again, this candle is closing in about 20 seconds. If this is the case and this candle here closes like that, then you're probably going to see this push down from here. You put your stop right there if you want at that high 60 points, and then it's going to push down right here to like this liquidity zone. Yeah, it's probably going to come down from here. So I typically don't like getting in right away. If I see like another confluence or something like that, I'll probably get in a little later. So I don't like getting at the very top. The reason why I don't like getting in at the very top is because because it hasn't been established yet, right? Like if price pushes back up higher, this higher highs could be invalidated. Like there'll be a new high there. So typically when I look for these reversals, I look at this first for confirmation, or not confirmation, but for confluence. And then if I see another continuation down, like a second leg, that's where I tend to try to get in from. Not immediately, because look how price is pushing up. This higher high can just disappear and it'll push up to a new higher high, right? So it hasn't been established yet. Until this higher high has been established and this red candle or this high with the red candle has is not going to go away, then in a situation like that, I would maybe use it as to my advantage. But right now, we just don't have that close yet. Let's see. Paul said full TP on M2K. What's M2K, Paul? All right, so we got price kind of sitting right here again. I don't see a confluence yet. This MPSV2 hasn't finished yet, so I would wait for this MPSV2 to finish and then see here as it continues on. So here's Paul's entry right here. He took the buy earlier this morning. You take it right there as price kind of pushed through. What does M2K stand for, Paul? I mean, it looks like you took the breakout, or not the breakout. This is momentum. Oh, you rolled the momentum. Is that what you're calling it? Oh, Russell 2K. Yeah, the Russell 2000. Is M2K, is that what it's short for? Because I've never seen anybody use that M2K before. I've seen like T100 and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, no, I understand. All right, cool. So with that being the case, guys, again, like I said, the higher high here hasn't established yet, so there's no high with the red candle. So this is why I was saying, like, if you're looking for reversal, I mean, I personally don't like trading reversals, so I don't even bother looking at them. But if you guys are looking for the reversal, look for a high with the red candle, and then look for a confirmation below. So like maybe like an MPS V2 back down, or look for like an engulfing or a V1. I turn on the reversals indicator right here so you guys can see. The V1 is when there's a double body, double wick rejection. Engulfing is when it has an E on it. So we still have price pushing up. It's starting to kind of slow down a little bit. It's perfectly fine. It's kind of what we were expecting. We were looking for price here to slow down anyways. All right, so again, here are the entries, guys. A lot of entries today so far. A lot of entries here so far. Hey, Masij. So Masij is on the YouTube chat right now. He said he just wanted to update as he can't join Zoom. Had a large family emergency, maybe back later this week. Yeah, no problem, Masij. I was gonna message you right now. Actually, I was gonna ask you, or I was just gonna say if everything was cool. But yeah, good to hear you here on the live session. So Masij is he's just kind of sitting in. I'm assuming you don't have your computer or laptop with you. It's all good. Um, yeah, Masih had to travel. He had some family emergency over the weekend, so he hasn't been on the live session since Friday. But yeah, no worries, Masih. Take your time, bro. There's no rush for anything. It's glad to see that everything's okay with you. All right, so with that being the case right here, yeah, Daniel said family first always. Yeah, exactly, Masih. There's no rush, bro. Take your time. Whenever you get back, you get back. Um, But yeah, everything's been kind of pushing through over here. It's been looking pretty decent. Today's was actually really nice. Yesterday was pretty good with the sells, but I mean, it's the same problem, right? It's the overextension. I think we haven't seen overextension like this in a while. So, I mean, it's been very tricky. Thanks, Masish. We'll see you later. But yeah, we'll see you once you get back. But yeah, so guys, today and yesterday, it's just been this week. We've seen a lot of these overextensions. Like we haven't really seen, expansions like this of like 500 points or not even less than that. We don't really see expansions of like 100 or even 200 points. Just today and yesterday, we've had expansions where prices pushed, 800 points. I think yesterday the Dow dropped like 800 points and then it recovered right back up. Same with what's happening here. So again, we have another high here, guys. A high with the red candle. I would be careful with taking any buys here because this is a reversal pattern. We have a couple candles here already kind of pushed through. So with candles kind of pushed through at this point, this will probably establish the high now. So initially it didn't establish the high. I mean, it just kind of depends on like if this here ends up pushing out further. So if this here doesn't test it within the next two or three candles, this high is going to be established, and we might start to see a reversal back to the downside. Maybe. I don't want don't like set your sights on something just yet, but see how like the volatility here is starting to flatten out a little bit. It might be ready to turn the other way. So if that's the case, price may push down from here. Like we might get something like this. This is the closest level of liquidity right here. Yeah, so if you guys are looking to jump into a trade here, I mean, this could be opportunity for a sell. I wouldn't jump into it yet because there's no other confluences. Like I said, this is only one confluence right there. We do have a sell signal here. This could be an MPS to the downside, right? So you can look for this to possibly set up like that. But again, there's only one confluence here, which is this higher high. If you see a V1 variation on the top, or you see it engulfing somewhere around here, or you see a sell signal come up, this is probably going to push down to grab liquidity right there. No confirmation yet, though. See, this is where it starts to become a little bit of an issue because because my algo entry is coming up right now at 657. I don't know if I'll be able to get into this because there's no confirmation yet. The sell signal's pending. So it's starting to turn. If you look over here at the other, or they're not really turning, they're kind of just all flat right now. The only one that's turning right now is YM. ES is trying to turn, and NQ is starting trying to turn too. They're both flat, but the leading asset right now is YM. This is the first asset that's really moving to the downside. The other ones are still flat. So NQ and they're starting to follow now. So NQ and ES are both starting to come down. And there goes the move that I just talked about, right? It's going back to grab liquidity right there. So we had the first reversal. We just didn't have any confluences after it. But yeah, again, higher high, red candle. That's a reversal pattern. So I gave you guys a warning about taking buys here. Um, yeah, so what might happen here is we might get a break and then a retest back up, or we might get continuation and then it might grab lower liquidity here. Still, there's no confluences on top, right? We have the higher high, but we don't have any engulfing. We don't have any V1 variations. We have a sell momentum, so it's starting to set up. We might start to set up for an MPS V2. If we have that MPS V2 set up, this could be a ride to this next level right here, right? I mean, but this is a little tricky. It's a little tricky because I don't like going against the trend, right? I typically like to trade with the trend. All right, so I hit full TP right there. Again, this is a liquidity grab entry. Again, I think, I might have to like start to. Some of you guys were here when I first started applying the liquidity grabs, right? This was one of we actually really liked this strategy to some extent, but then I stopped doing it because I just found it to be a little too risky. I think the difference with this liquidity grab and the one that we initially were applying, this one is a little better because you're waiting for confirmation versus before we would just have a limit order just kind of hanging out, right? We wait for it to fill and then we ride it back down. This one, we're actually looking for like a higher high with the red candle for it to reverse, and then we're looking for confluences to follow. So again, right here, this was the first liquidity area. It's actually pushing down to this next level now. So the next level would be right here. So I'll kind of put some thought into this. I mean, what I might have to do is I might have to move from the mini contracts to the micros. I think I need to move down to the micros so I could take more trades. Because I think what I might have to do for my playbook is I might have to have like one entry of like per strategy, like one algo entry, one liquidity grab strategy, and then one directional MPS so that I can like have more opportunities to like have to kind of figure out what market we're in, right? So right there, price push down, grab liquidity. So you guys see, if you guys want to use my liquidity levels, just turn on my liquidity indicator. I set it to 5 minutes. The 1 minute's too noisy. The 5 minute I think is pretty smooth if you're looking for liquidity grabs. So again, if you guys want to use my liquidity indicator, you guys can use that. From what I've seen in the past is that it looks better in the beginning of the session because when the volatility is very high. Let's see what Daniel got over here. Dang, your sky always looks crazy, huh? Daniel, I remember the last time you sent it when it was like when it started snowing. Your sky looks crazy. It looked crazy over here too in California a couple days ago or last week. It was like cotton candy, but it was like super, super cotton candy. Yeah, you guys got some cool views over there in your neighborhood. Looks like it's starting to warm up, huh? No more snow. Weather's been kind of weird here. It's warmed up as well. I think this week's like a heat wave. It's like 80 degrees here. It was like low, it was like in the 40s, 50s, and then now it's back to being super hot. California is super it's not super bipolar, but it is like the cold and the hotness kind of fluctuates a lot. All right, 657 right now. If you guys want to take this, this is going to be an algo entry. It's not a target entry, but it's a listed entry. So for this one right here, it has a 50% overall probability of it winning, profit factor of 1.8, and max equity drawdown of 9%. So if you guys want to take this right here, this is a sell entry for the algo. I personally, I'm looking for a target entry. So the first one that I would probably be looking for would be this next one over here at 659. Here's a problem with this though. The thing is like price is now in a chop. I don't want to trade the algo entries in a chop, right? I want this to continue in a direction. There's also no other confluences here. So if you guys want to take this as an algo entry, I would say just, be careful with it because if I saw an engulfing or if I saw a V1 variation somewhere up here, like some sort of continuation, I would have taken it. Even if I saw an MPS, I would have taken it. But there's no confirmation here. This is just straight red candles, right? This is basically it's a sell-off. You guys can see these are a lot of red candles. You usually don't see a straight red. This is like I'm not used to this type of market. You guys seeing this many red candles with no retracement? And I don't mean like a big retracement. I mean just a small one, like one green candle, right? Um, and we're already in the liquidity level. So like if this entry came up like up here, then okay, I would write it down to liquidity. But the thing is we're already in liquidity right now. So the next level for price to push down to is going to be the opening price down here, back to open or to this lower level of liquidity. So we have liquidity sitting right here, and we also have the opening price right here. All right, so we're finally getting that retracement that I was just talking about. This is how many candles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 back-to-back red candles. That's a lot of red candles with no retracement. So again, if you guys want to take this, I'm just not really comfortable chasing a trade. But I mean, in this situation like this, I would consider this kind of chasing because the retracement's going to happen. It's bound to happen. It's just a matter of time until it does. Paul said it's 30 degrees where he's at. That's freezing. Yeah, it's super, super cold. All right, so guys, looking at this over here, I would be careful with taking any sells right now. I mean, there's no. The thing is, that, like I said, this low here hasn't been established yet, but you can see there's a low with the green candle. So again, that's a reversal pattern. We don't have no confirmations of it actually staying because price can push lower, and this next low will just be a red candle. But again, right here, this is an algo entry. There's two algo entries running alongside each other right now. And that 659 one's actually looking pretty decent. So that first algo entry right there at 657, that already hit target. The 659 right here. This isn't the MPS you're looking for, Daniel, but it's really big. I don't know if you're looking to get into this. This is probably going to retrace because yeah, there's actually some decent entries here. So we had two algo entries come up right back to back from each other. Down right there and that one right there, two back to back. Yeah, this candle is way too big. I think this is going to be where price actually retraces. Or it might be a break and retest of the sessions right there. So Daniel's going to sit out of that. He said candle's too big. I agree with him. This was it's like an 80-point candle. Ah, man, these like huge candles that come out of nowhere, they really throw me off. Not just the big candles, but just the continuations and the reversals and stuff like that. They just kind of throw me off a little bit because I don't like. So let me just go back over here. So we had the algo entry right here at 659, or there was an initial one at 657. This one hit target. This one over here at 659, I personally wouldn't have really looked into that one because if you guys saw it from earlier, that was a low with the green candle, right? Like I said, if you have a high with the red candle, look for reversals to the downside. If you see a low with the green candle, look for reversals to the upside, right? So I was already not looking to get into that, even though it was an entry right there. So the first one over here at 657, one would have been kind of okay, but it was overextended. 659 right here, that was this green candle right here, right? So I for sure wouldn't have taken that as the algo entry, even though it came straight down. Because you can see over here we have a higher low and it's with a green candle, right? That's a reversal pattern that I try to avoid at all costs. So again, we have another green candle right here with the low. This could be the reversal back to the upside, right? We're in this chop right now. Yeah, currently in this chop right now. We're in a big range. So this is a clean chart. All right, so I guess at this point, I mean it's going to be another waiting game for me. I have to look for my entry a little later. There goes the first algo entries for today, right here, two of them. Man, it's crazy. Every entry hit today. So we have one algo entry right here. We have two algo entries. I'll just put algo 2x. There's two of them right there. So yeah, there's two algo entries right there. Literally everything we identified and marked up today hit. Breakout. So momentum, breakout, liquidity grab, momentum, MPS V2, MPS V2, MPS V2, liquidity grab, and algo, two of the entries right there. What I'm looking for here is, let's see if there's liquidity sitting up top. There's liquidity sitting up top, but it's too close right here, right? So we do have the reversal pattern. We have the low with the green candle. What I would look for on these next candles is a V1 variation, or I'd look for an engulfing, something to confirm that price is likely to keep pushing up. Also a buy signal, right? We have another momentum entry right here. Let's see if this is done with. So 113 times 2, 226. Okay, so the cells are still actually running right now. We have a momentum entry that's currently running from right here. Yeah, these are a lot of entries. So I'm actually glad that we're getting a lot of entries now because for the past couple weeks we didn't have anything come up, right? It was pretty dead. Now we're actually getting a ton of entries here. They're starting to, and they're all happening in the beginning of the session. All right, so we got this momentum that's currently pushing down. If this buy signal here closes, then we're going to start looking for a trade in the other direction. This right here is a flickering momentum at 705, so there's going to be no entry there. I'm going to update the entries right here as price continues to, move along. All right, where were the initial entries? 639 and 656. Also, I mean, there's a lot of, so pretty much all the algo entries which came up today, they all kind of hit for the most part. I mean, even the not just the listed ones, the non-targeted. So the algo today is currently on a 4 win streak. It won at 639, 656, 657, and 659. There was another one right here at 7:05, but this is a flickering momentum, so that obviously would be no entry. Same with 7:09 right here. We have another one coming up at 7:09, but this is going to be, I mean, we'll see if the flickering momentum ends up closing from there. So the indexes are starting to push back up. We have YM, which is pushing back up, NQ, which is already pushing up, ES, which is also pushing up. If we get that buy signal right there, which closes, I might be able to look for possible opportunity for a buy here, like maybe ride one of these algo entries to the upside, but I need it to close, right? Right now it's having trouble closing at the moment. It comes up, but it doesn't actually close. So we have a pending signal which came up here, pending signal which came up here. These are indicating that momentum's trying to push up. It just doesn't have enough power behind it, right? So I'm looking for this power here to actually close so I can ride this up higher. Because if this here closes, this could set up for a possible MPSV2 and then ride up and grab liquidity up here, right? It could grab liquidity and then it could probably push up to the next level, which is right there. But again, there's no confluences. So like what I like to see here, we have a low with the green candle. What I would like to see on top of this is I'd like to see a V1 variation down here or an engulfing, right? We're getting a reversal pattern from up here, actually. It's the opposite way. Again, another pending buy signal there. It hasn't closed yet. So you can see over here for the past 4 or 5 minutes, we've had pending buy signals, right? We got a pending buy signal on ES, pending buy signal on YM, ES, YM, ES, YM. Ever since 7:04. So for the past, yeah, for the past 4 minutes, we've been getting pending buy signals. No confirmation yet, though. All right, so invalidated this reversal right here. We're getting really close to these algo entries, though. So the algo entry right here at 7:09, I don't know if this is going to be one we could even like look to get into because this buy signal here still hasn't closed. And CJ said 7:05 has been acting like 7:02 for me, so I'll pass. Yeah, it's been doing that. It's been doing that lately. All right, so we have a pending. So this could be a possible entry right here. Again, we don't have any confluences. I was hoping we get a V1 variation or engulfing somewhere down here so that we have a confirmation. There's two confluences though. We have a reversal pattern here, high low with a green candle. Then we have the buy signal right there. If you guys want to take this as an algo entry, I mean, you guys can maybe take it. I would probably wait. Personally, I'd wait for like an MPS pattern or something here to show up. There just isn't enough confluences here for me to want to like jump into this, right? So I actually would like to see this candle close red because if it closes red, we can see an MPS pattern set up right there. But if you guys are looking to jump into this, this is an algo entry for a buy. Could probably push up to the next level of liquidity up there. Yeah, another kind of algo entry setting up right here. So this is one algo entry which is currently running. There's another one right after it. Let me see if there's any if I can put like a limit order somewhere to catch it. No. So again, right here, this is like exactly what I was not wanting to get into, right? See how price is pulling back like that? We didn't have any confluences yet. That's why I haven't jumped into these positions. Um, yeah, I'm gonna wait. If there's an MPS which comes up, I'll probably get into it, but I'm not gonna jump in just because it's an algo time. These aren't even target entries. These are just listed entries. This entry over here at 710, this is it has a 55% probability of it winning. It has a close profit factor. It's at 1.994. So it's close, but it's not a setup that I'm really looking to jump into just yet. I'm gonna see how this candle here closes. If this candle here closes green, I'll probably get in for an MPS. But like I said, there's no confirmation here. If I had an engulfing down here, or if I saw a V1, I would be more inclined to jump in. But right now, it's just push, it's a push through, but there's no confirmation of continuation. So let's see, the 20 price could be possibly. I'm looking at the volume right now on the DOM. There's a couple buy orders kind of hanging out right there, but it's not really one-sided. This could be a possible MPS right here. Let's see, 20. It's coming down a bit. This is the market here is flat. The chop is just too strong right now. See if we had a push up, like if this was a strong push up, I'd get into it, but there's just no confluences right there. All right, so what I'm gonna look for here is, and this candle didn't close very strong. What I'm gonna look for is I'm looking for a confluence. Actually, the sells here are starting to look better. We have a lower high right here with the red candle. So this thing might be flipping. So we have a lower high with the red candle, plus we have an engulfing right here. So it looks like I dodged a bullet right there on those algo entries because it was starting to flatten out. I already knew this was going to flatten out. We're back in this chop. I might be looking for some sells here. Let me see the liquidity. Yeah, so this here could possibly ride down to this next level of liquidity right here. And we have a pending sell signal right there too. Okay. So this here might push down to this lower level now. Let me see if there's going to be any opportunities for me to get in. Maybe I put a limit order and then write it down from where it's at. I don't really like the market chop here right now. Let's see the 90. Yeah. Let's see, price is sitting. I'm gonna try to ride this down if I can. I'm trying to find a good price to get into. Like this whole number here at 100 might be good, but if it pushes up higher, I could probably get at the 110. All right, let's see if we have some more confluences to the downside here. The trend's still bullish. But if it does come down lower, it looks like price could probably push down to that liquidity. There's no entries here yet, though. I was looking for the MPS to set up so I can just write it down, but doesn't look super great yet. But this is going to be my area. So I'm basically going to watch for this to come down. If it comes down, I'm going to try to just put a limit order just to grab it as it retraces and then write it down lower. I'm just trying to get prime entry here. Um, because what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for this MPS to set up, right? Because we have a sell signal, we have price kind of push, and I'm looking for it to come back down below, which now it looks like this isn't going to be the case because we have a pending buy signal. We're like this is classic chop now. It's just chopping up back and forth. So the sell signal here, if that green buy signal comes up, we're going to be pretty much over with this downside. But if this holds, I mean, it could be pretty good. So I'll keep watching it here. Right now, until this buy signal closes, I'm probably going to look for this to grab liquidity below. If it doesn't close, then might be able to. No, we're getting pending buy signals now. So if this is the case, yeah. So if you guys look at the reversal patterns, we now have a reversal to the upside. So we had a high here with the red candle, we had an engulfing, and then now we have a low with the green candle, and price is now pushing back up. So we initially had this direction to the downside. Now, if this buy signal here closes, we might have a direction back to the upside to this upper zone right there. Let me turn off liquidity. I mean, we're in chop, so obviously there's no direction here. Price just chopping up. We got to chop within the bigger range. So here's a clean chart. Yeah, so we got a chop right here in between. We got the big range, and then we got the smaller chop right here. It's in this area. I don't have any algo entries until later today, until like 7:57. All right, buy signal hasn't closed yet. We don't have any confluences following it. We do have this lower low, so or not lower low. We have a higher low right here with the green candle. I'm looking for this here to give me another confluence, and I'm looking for this buy signal here to actually close. All right, so we have a new high right here. This has invalidated the sell, so the sellers are no longer in this. They're no longer in play. We're actually just waiting for this buy signal here to close. If the buy signal closes, we'll look for this here to push back up higher. Steven's asking if the robot's on. Yes, robot's always on. iPhone's asking any update on the automation. No updates yet. Masij is not here, so when he comes back this week, he'll probably have some updates. But yeah, I have no updates on it. Masij doing all the work on it. So until he sends me any updates to it, then I don't really have anything to include. So yeah, I'm waiting for him to kind of give me any updates on it. But as of now, he hasn't given me anything. So I know he's been busy since like last Friday. He was almost done though. So I'm assuming by this week, if as long as he gets back by this week, then should have like a working model to go. But until then, yeah, we don't have anything yet. He had a family emergency this weekend, so he had to fly back to SF. All right, we have a buy signal here, which is closed. 90. I don't know if I go that far. There we go. All right, so looking at this right here, guys, this is another momentum move. So there's the previous momentum move over here, which never actually followed through. And it looks like it's correcting back up. So this is why I like marking up these momentum moves, because it's basically a continuation. So we have a continuation right here. This previous buy momentum, it never finished, right? So we had a previous buy momentum over here, which kind of pulled back a little bit, but it never finished. It's now pushing up higher from where we're currently, like this is basically another confluence. We had the initial momentum down here, it retraced back a little bit, and now it's pushing back up higher. So next target area is probably going to be this high, but it can easily push right through it because these two buys line up with each other. So I'm going to look for an opportunity here to maybe get in for a buy. Whether it be an MPSV2, whether it be a high-low, or let's see. No, there's no high-low scalp here. Or there was a high-low. This was a triple confluence, actually. I don't know if anybody saw that. Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw that. Did it just grab liquidity, Roland? I think it did, huh? Yeah, it's gone now, but there was probably liquidity that was sitting there, price reversed and it pushed into the liquidity. So like I mentioned before, guys, I think this is something I might have to implement. I might have to just flip out one of these strategies, maybe the high-low scalp. So I would have one strategy per market condition, right? Algo entry and then MPS for continuation and then liquidity grabs for reversals or mean reversion, not really reversals, but mean reversion. This works out really well when you're applying it with the trend, right? So like the trend here is bullish. If I did some mean reversions to the upside, I mean, it did pretty nicely. Like for example, right here, there's a mean reversion to the upside. It was great. This is the downside. This was against the trend, but it still worked out pretty nice. Um, yeah, I think we just got to stay pretty liquid with like the strategies that we're applying. I like to apply mainly directional and trend continuation strategies, but the problem is like the market's not always trending and the market's not always continuing, right? Um, okay, we have an MPS here, which is setting up. I don't like this that we have a higher high with the red candle. So I would need this to really push past this line right here. I needed to invalidate that higher high for me to want to get into this for an MPS. I'll be watching to maybe get into it though. Um, I don't know if anybody's looking to get into this. The thing is, like I said, I don't really want this here to yeah, because this is a pretty strong reversal pattern. It's a higher high. It's not just a high lower high, it's a higher high with a red candle. So this is a reversal back down possibly. Yeah, Daniel said I'll take it if it's strong and engulfing. That's what I was waiting for too, because it was going to be engulfing, but then here we go as it comes down. So see how strong that reversal pattern is? This is why I always get nervous when I see a high with the red candle, or not even just a high, but a higher high. If you see a higher high with the red candle, or you see a lower low with the green candle, like see this lower low right here with the green candle, this thing pushed up pretty strongly, right? Higher high right here with the red candle, this thing pushed down pretty strong. These are just regular high lows, high low, lower high, high low. And then right here, we have another higher high with the red candle. So this would kind of throw me off. If I see a higher high or a lower low, I'm like, okay, this might be the top or this might be the bottom. And it looks like this is the case right here. So yeah, I'm not looking to jump into this yet. I mean, the MPS actually came up down here. It's currently running right now. I personally, like I said, I'm really big on confluences. I don't like putting them as requirements, but I do like using them as a confluence to give me some, give me some confidence in the position. So what I think I'm going to use this as right here is I'm going to use this as a high-low scalp. So I might see this if price breaks and closes past this, I'm going to put a limit order right here to catch this and then write it up higher. If anybody wants to jump into that with me. So I'm going to wait a little bit. We have an MPS, we have a lot of entries running right now. So we have this momentum entry, we have this MPS V2. Now I'm looking for price to break and close past this higher high. I'm gonna look to get in right here at 234, maybe just put like a limit order, and then I'll just write it up further as price, climbs up. I'd look for it to retest that higher high. I'm not gonna get in right away, but possibly 234. I'm gonna look for my limit order right there. Now price pushing past it, right? I missed it.
Order submit. Order submitted.
Missed it. Yeah, I missed the entry right there. It came and filled it. I don't know if anybody got into it. There's like an error with a couple of accounts. I had to click through it. Yeah, I was looking, it looked like it already filled right there. So I might have to cancel it right now, guys. I was looking for it to come down, grab it right there and push it back up. We'll see. I mean, it might pull back right here and fill it again, but I'm trying to get in right there at 34. If it doesn't pull back to fill, then I'm just going to cancel it. Yeah, I had a couple errors right there with some of the accounts. That was a nice entry too. All right, we're too far up. I'm gonna cancel my order. Down. Well, it's a bummer. That was a perfect entry. Look at that right there. That was exactly what I was looking for.
Canceled.
There, order canceled. So I was trying to get in right there at 234 for the break and retest. This is what I mean about like having multiple strategies because like I could have got in for the MPS, but I was like, no, I'm getting in for the high-low scalp over here, but not just the regular high-low scalp, but a retest of that area. So right here, you can see how price pushed up, it retraced back, it filled right there, and then it pushed up higher. The problem is that with the hedge fund accounts, I have a couple, there's a couple errors here. I mean, I'm glad that I put this order in because now I can go and take a double look at like which accounts are causing the error. Um, and let me write this down. So there's one NinjaTrader hedge fund client account that has an error as well. It's been a long time since I entered something, so I haven't seen these errors yet. Okay, let me check this real quick. Okay. I pinpointed a couple of the issues here. The problem is the StoneX client. And I have to kind of see, this is like it's like kind of annoying that they do this with StoneX. So for some of you guys who are like a StoneX client, I know like some of you guys haven't funded your accounts yet, but the problem is they already gave me access to your account, so they're letting me trade your account with no funds. So when I try to trade on your account, it gives me an error. And that's what kind of messed it up for today, but it's okay. I'm gonna try to figure this out how to I'm gonna have to go through it like one by one to resolve. I don't know why they did that. They should have just never gave me access to your accounts if they weren't ready. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that after the session though. So these trades are gonna hit right here. Unfortunately, I did not get into these entries. This was a perfect entry that I was looking to get into. So we had the MPS right here, and then we had the high-low break and retest. Both of them played out perfectly. The momentum trade is still currently running, so we'll kind of follow through with that. It's just frustrating. The one entry we finally wanted to get into, and it just didn't get that fill. But it never pulled back, so I canceled my orders right here. It never pulled back to get the fill, so initially filled and then I got the error, so it's all good. All right, I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. I'm gonna grab some water and I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back. So let's see what we got here. All right, not done trading yet. Fortunately, I didn't get into my position, but we are not done yet. Let's see if I can maybe get into something else here. Okay, we have a maybe possibly another same setup here that we were looking at. Um, we got a higher high here with the red candle, or we might get a swing back down. So I'm looking at where price is currently at right here. Uh, yeah, I'm looking at what we got right here. We have a pending sell signal. Not closed yet, but we might get that pending sell coming up pretty soon. I have to update this. All right, we got the pending. Okay, so the sells here might look good. Let me check out liquidity real quick. Okay, so this might be a time. Well, I mean, if you guys want to. So right here we have a higher high with the red candle. We have an engulfing of V1 variation. Price could probably push down to this area of liquidity right here. If anybody's looking to chase that down. It's a 50-point move right there. Again, this is a mean reversion. I don't like trading against the trend, but if you want to trade against the trend, it's probably going to come down and grab liquidity right here. If it drops down any further, it could drop and grab liquidity down there. Again, I don't like trading against the trend, so I personally wouldn't look to get into this, but this is a liquidity grab type setup. I'm just going to put this right here real quick. So this is MPS V2. This right here. High low break retest. I seem to get smaller acronyms for this, so it's not takes up so much space. And then we have again a momentum move right here. There's that liquidity grab that I just talked about. It's about to hit target. So yeah, it's about to hit 50 points right there. It might drop lower. So this is the first liquidity. It's grabbing liquidity right there. It's done with. Now next level is going to be down here if it continues to drop lower from there. So I already grabbed liquidity right here. This liquidity is going to get invalidated right now. You can see this green box. It's going to disappear. There you go. It's disappeared. If it closes below this point. So you guys see what I mean about this? Like if you have a playbook where it covers reversals, mean reversion, directional, and obviously the algo entries, you pretty much cover all sides, right? You can kind of trade in any type of market. So I'm gonna be looking at well, I mean, I've been looking at it already. I'm gonna keep testing it. The thing with this is that I've looked at this liquidity grab strategy. There's like periods where it doesn't work well. Like if the volatility is really, really low, it doesn't work well because it just kind of stays flat, it doesn't go anywhere. But in this type of market, like right now, we're in a very volatile market. We're pushing up like 500 points. Yesterday, 800 points dropping. There's a lot of volatility here. So like in this type of market, the liquidity grabs, they actually shine pretty, like they work pretty well. I'm shocked to see this many entries today, guys. Look at all the entries today. This is actually a really fun market. I'm hoping it stays this way because we have a lot of entries which are coming up. We have a breakout, liquidity grab, momentum, MPSV2, 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 liquidity grab, momentum, two algo entries, momentum, MPSV2, high-low break and retest, or high-low scalp, whatever you want to take it as. And then right here, another liquidity grab. So we got a lot of stuff here to kind of work with. Um, like I said, I'm looking for one good entry per day. And if I can find one good entry, which will probably happen, it's I'll take it. So we got price pushing up. There's no liquidity sitting up here. There's no like sell liquidity level. So the next level that I'm looking for here for price to push to, which is going to be kind of like in this open area, is going to be this higher high to get taken out, right? So With that being the case, we have a high low right here, or a higher low with a green candle. So this is a reversal pattern. Like I said before, if you're looking for any reversals, look for lows with the green candle or look for highs with the red candle. Higher highs and lower lows are going to be stronger, but these still work, right? They could still work even if they're just a regular high low or higher low or a lower high. Um, it just gives you an idea of like what to focus on and what to pay attention to. So we'll see. So let's see what we got. Gotta update something for one of our clients. What's the data? Just see what I'm just fixing one of our clients, see if we can have data on it. All right, let me disconnect and reconnect. Okay, we're good. So all the Ninja accounts are good. See if I can get into something here. Hopefully the volatility stays pretty decent. I can jump into something here. I really like putting limit orders. Limit orders, even though sometimes they don't get filled, like what happened today. I do like the limit orders because they're less stressful. You kind of just let them sit and then wait for them to get filled. All right, so we have a high right there with the red candle. This thing could come back down further. I'll do some updates in a second. Into hmm, I'm gonna change my size. Okay, cool. All right, I think I'm good to go. All right, I think hopefully there's no errors on this next trade. I just made all the adjustments. It's a lot of work. This is like the downside of trading for a lot of accounts is that when there's an error that comes up, it screws up the whole thing. So I had errors on two different platforms. On Ninja, some clients didn't have data, and then on StoneX, some clients just didn't have money in their account. So I had to change the contract size. Yeah, because I'm entering with like 100 contracts, and then there's some people that just didn't have any money in their account, so I had to like change it, or it adjusts. Whenever a new client comes in, the contract size will change. I'll do like 120 contracts in one move or whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, it's nice when it's all working, but right now it's not. All right, see what we got here. All right, market is dead. It is dead right now. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be pissed if we don't get any movement here. Um, Okay, so we got this here. Let me just go. I'm gonna mark up a couple things. So we had a liquidity grab right there. We have the momentum. The momentum is still technically running right now. It's not, yeah, it's still technically running right now. Hasn't invalidated yet. I mean, I don't know if I'd look for a sell here. If we get this buy signal, then obviously this sell is going to be invalidated. But so this buy momentum, we actually both of these buy momentums haven't completed yet, right? So this big one over here hasn't completed. Price pushed close to the target and then retraced down. And this big one over here hasn't completed either. Price pushed up and then retraced off this resistance and now it's coming back down. So if we get a buy signal right here, this could possibly push up further to reach the target area that we were kind of aiming for initially, right? So again, this right here is probably going to invalidate, and I'm hoping this buy signal here closes. If this is the case, then I'll be looking for some buys here for entry. Okay, perfect. So this is the case here now. This is good because it's with the direction of the trend, which is where I want to trade anyways. 116. So, all right. Looking at this here right now, I don't think there's liquidity up top, so I don't think there's going to be anything for me to really grab from here. Let me check my other chart real quick. Is there any? I mean, the next levels for price to push up to are really, really high. They're at 716. So they're like 700 points away or 500 points away. So we don't really have any upward structure to reach. I mean, price keeps bouncing around this area. Might just keep trying to grab the liquidity below, but I'll be watching for it. All right, so right here we have a reversal pattern. We have a low with the green candle. It's also a V1 variation. We have a buy signal right here. Um, I mean, we're really just in this chop. Let me go over here real quick and just show you guys. So we're really just chopping up at this resistance right now. Where it's sitting right here. Yeah, price is just sitting right here right now at this resistance point. I don't know if price is actually gonna break through here. We have a pending sell signal right there. That sell signal closes, it's going to invalidate this buy signal, and then momentum will probably continue pushing down lower. All right, we're just getting a lot of back and forth here now, guys. We don't have a confluence for buys right now. So initially we had the low with the green candle right here. Now we have a low with the red candle. So of course I get a connection loss right now on Ninja. Um, yeah, there's no confluences here for a buy right now. As much as I would have wanted to, kind of ride this up for an MPS, there's no confluences right now because the low here has been invalidated. See, if this pulls down a little more, we might get a new low with the green candle. But at this very moment, we don't have a low with the green candle, so there's no confluences here for a buy. Like I would need to see, well, first and foremost, I need to see a green candle with the low. If I don't see a green candle with the low, I'm not really looking for buys here at all. Because that's like my leading indicator, or not my leading indicator, but my leading confluence, right? If you look at my trades here, if I'm ever looking for something, the first thing I want to look for is a low with the green candle, or if I'm looking for a sell, the first thing I'm looking for is a high with the red candle. Once I have that confirmation, so for example, right here, see this confirmation right here? That's my first confirmation. This is like a must for me. Well, if I see that, I can look for follow-ups, right? I can look for engulfings V1s to follow through. I can look for momentum to follow through. But if I don't have a high with the red candle or a low with the green candle, I'm not even going to bother. So just keep that in mind, guys. That's my one of my requirements. I think I would consider it a requirement now. Initially, I was looking at it as a confluence, but the more and more that I've been staring at the charts, it's more of a requirement for me now because you can see it's true like how it plays through, right? So for example, right here, we have this lower low with the green candle. Obviously, it pushed up super strongly. We had a higher high right here with the red candle. So the thing is, if I could start off with that confluence or that requirement, then in a sense, anything that follows through will likely push, right? It'll likely continue in that direction. Right now, we're currently in a chop, so there's no confirmations of reversal. Price is really just going back and forth between this area right now. Let's go to our clean chart. There's like nothing here, right? This is just real, literally going back and forth right now between this area. Um, let's see. Question from John. He's asking on the rules for the MPS when it says directional push, would a green candle with a buy momentum signal on it fit that description? Yeah, but it has to be in the direction of trend, like what Daniel mentioned. Thanks, Daniel, for the input. Unless you're looking for the MPSPA, Dijon. If you're talking about the regular MPS, it'd be with the trend. If you're just talking about the MPSPA, but the price action version of it, it doesn't require a a trend because you're just trading it based off price action. So that's one thing too, Daniel, that I was looking at. Remember how we looked at the lower lows? If you have a lower low and it sets up for an MPSPA, like if you have a lower low with the red candle or a higher high with, or sorry, opposite, lower low with a green candle or a higher high with the red candle, the MPSPA usually plays out pretty nicely as long as it's not overextended. Um, it's kind of like what happened here on the open. So we had a lower low with the green candle. I think this was part of the strategy to begin with. We just didn't really look at it with the color size, but it makes sense now. So we had a lower low with a green candle, buy signal, retracement, confirmation. This would be an MPSPA actually. This was an MPSPA, but it also lined up with an MPSV2. So it's basically like two strategies in one right there. But yeah, I'm glad that like right now, since I'm not teaching or mentoring anymore, I'm able to like really focus on like the charts or like just testing to see what's working and what's not. And yeah, these little things that I'm starting to add to the confluences that they're going to help a lot moving forward. I mean, today it would have helped a ton if I would have just taken these stupid entries. Like there were so many entries today. I wish I would have taken at least one of these because they all hit, right? I mean, obviously I wouldn't have taken the breakout, probably wouldn't have grabbed any of these other entries, but these MPSV2s, these were like easy takes for us right there that I could have gotten into. There was the high-low break and retest right there, which I missed. I'm still kind of salty about that because I'm like, fuck, this was it was such a perfect entry, right? This thing came up, it came down, grabbed the entry to get filled, and then it went straight to target. So I'm a little salty about this one right here. I knew this one was going to be a good entry because we had confluences, we had momentum, MPSV2, the high-low break and close, and then the break and retest. But I mean, it is what it is. I just feel more confident this week. So now that we've kind of seen all these entries set up, and I like that I've kind of marked up the entries, we have an idea of like what to kind of look at and maybe focus on. I might not even need to remove one of these strategies. I can probably just I could just add one to it because I do like both the high-low scalp and the MPS, but I like the high-low scalp as a break and retest type entry, not just entry on the close, but look for the retest at that level. So I'm gonna save this right here so I don't have to write this up again tomorrow. Uh, okay. Yeah, I think so. What I'm going to do with the liquidity grabs is I'll be looking for liquidity grabs, but I'll be looking for in the direction of the trend. So I'm not really going to be looking to go against the trend. I mean, if you guys want to go against the trend, you guys are more than welcome to, but I'm going to try to go with the trend. We're not going to get that many liquidity grabs in the direction of trend, but I think it's going to be helpful. Or it might not even have to be with the trend. It would have to just be in the direction of long-term bias. So it's a little mixed right now. I mean, let's see. It's currently bullish right now in the lower time frames, and then it's neutral in the higher time frames. Let's update this real quick. Bullish, neutral. Yeah, Daniel said, haven't seen a clean entry in a minute. Yeah, nothing really set up here so far. There's no highs with the red candle. There's no lows with the green candle. It's very choppy. We're getting close to the algo entries right here at 757 and 756. Unfortunately, we just don't have very many confluences right now. It looks like the market has pretty much died out around like 7:30. This is the normal time where market dies out anyway, so it's not a surprise. We did have some pretty nice movement here. Like this was, I haven't seen the market move like this in a while between 6:30 and 7:30. This is like normal. So back when we were taking a lot of these entries, this is like pretty normal for price to do something like this, but I haven't seen this in a long time. Usually what happens is it'll push up for the first 10 minutes, then it'll just go flat the entire day. Over here was pretty good. It was consistent until 7:30, and it started to flatten out right here. So again, we will kind of see what happens here as price comes through. Let's see. So Dejan said, okay, I've just been looking at the regular MPS so far. I want to make sure I understand the basics before I look at the MPS PA. Yeah, no problem, Dejan. And I think that's the best way to do it. So this momentum signal here has been invalidated. Yeah, I mean, it's been validated. I'm just going to take that off because it's pretty much done with. This was invalidated too. These other buys here still are active, these bigger moves. All right, so we have a lower low right here with the green candle. This is a good sign. What I might see here is possible high-low break and retest off this structure and then ride this up higher. We're getting close to the algo entry, though. I don't know if we're going to have an entry here. Unless I get some nice confluences, I still would need price to be above the momentum here. So in order for me to take these algo entries at 756, 757, price has to be above this line. It's not looking like it. See, CJ said, Sean, don't feel salty about the high-low break and retest because I had a pending order set and price tapped it, still didn't fill. Okay, well, that makes me feel a lot better, CJ, because yeah, it looked like such a perfect entry, but it did happen so quickly that, I could see why it wouldn't get filled because it literally came straight to the dot, right? Like literally on the dot, it bounced off it and wouldn't get it filled. I don't think my orders would have filled anyways because I have like 120 contracts that I'm trying to get in with. So it might have just filled like maybe a few contracts if it would have tapped it. Yeah, so it's all good. I think we're gonna be a little more prepared for tomorrow. It's gonna act a little quicker. Let me see if there's any more high-low scalps that would have came in today for like break and retest. So let's see. No, this one over here broke past it in a retest. Um, yeah, actually there was no other high-low scalps that came in for break and retest. Those like they don't come up very often, but when they do come up, they're usually pretty nice. Um, yeah, there's actually no other high-low break and retest. That was the only one that came up. All right, guys, so we have this algo entry at 756. It's not going to be an entry because we've already talked about this before, and there's a pending momentum, so it's actually flickering momentum. Um, I mean, that's not the case, but the price would still need to be above this up here for us to have that entry, right? Because it has to be in the direction of momentum, which it's not. In order for it to be in the direction of momentum, it has to be above momentum, which is up here. Oh man, another day. I feel no inch. Okay, tomorrow I'm just gonna have to like take a little more risk. I mean, obviously, today there was a couple like issues that I ran into, not really just from the trading, but mainly from the platforms. I did get a couple errors. There was one, like I said, there was a couple clients who didn't have data on their account. There's a couple clients that don't have funds in their account for StoneX. So either way, I'm glad that I attempted to take a trade today because with me putting that limit order on, I got the errors across the platform. So tomorrow I'll be a little more ready for my entries here. So we'll yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. Again, these are the entries from today. Today was a really, really good day. I'm really shocked to see this many entries come up. Um, Yeah, honestly, we haven't seen a market like this in a while. I'm hoping the market stays this way because we've had a slow market for the past like 3, 4 months. Um, there's another algo entry right here, but there's no confluences, so I mean I wouldn't be looking to get into this. Actually, I for sure wouldn't be getting into this because there's a lower low with the green candle reversal pattern, right? So yeah, there was only here. Let me see. I'll mark it up. I'll show you guys the algo entries for today. There's actually it was pretty good on open. So let me go over here and just show you guys a spreadsheet. Um, refresh. Yeah, so we had a couple algo entries here this morning. Yeah, right here, 639, 656, 657, 659, all wins. Bunch of back, these weren't even back to back. There was only like a cluster that happened down here, but for the most part, they were all wins. Um, so pretty solid entries right there. And then the rest of the day was just choppy. So there was just nothing else down here because there was nothing to take. And then right here at the end, these are the ones that I was looking to get into. These were all they had the flickering momentum on them with that sell signal. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad that we had a pretty good day today. This gives me confidence moving forward for this week. Because we've kind of been in a slow market, but I'm glad that now we're kind of getting some movement here. And this kind of gives us an idea. Like now that we've seen this movement, we already knew that we were supposed to take trades on open, but like okay, now within the first 30 minutes, first hour, we might be able to get some pretty good entries, and we got to be able to like ride this momentum when it's there. Later today, if you guys do decide to trade, I think today is Trump's State of the Union address. So yeah, so he has a State of the Union speech today. It's the market's gonna be crazy, guys. Honestly, it's gonna be crazy because Trump has a lot of stuff to talk about, right? He's gonna talk about Iran. He's gonna talk about stuff that's going on in Mexico. He's gonna talk about tariffs. There's a lot of stuff that Trump is gonna be talking about today, which is gonna make the market go haywire. So just keep that in mind. Expect like I think tomorrow's gonna be crazy. Yeah, tomorrow's market open is gonna be pretty crazy because Trump's speaking later tonight. And we're not really going to get, we're going to get a market reaction tonight, but not as much as the open tomorrow. So the open tomorrow is going to be pretty intense. Today we had a big spike of like 500 points. I'm expecting there to be even more, maybe 800 points tomorrow. So right here, market opened up. We had a spike down for about 100 points, and then it pushed up from down here, 509 points. So tomorrow, I think market is going to be bullish tomorrow because Trump's not going to say anything that's bad. Or no, he could say something that's bad. He could say if he talks about the tariffs a lot, that because he did implement a 10% global tariffs across all trading partners, that's not good for the economy. But if other than that, us making an attack on Iran, that's going to be good. I mean, not good, but it's going to be good for the economy. Um, yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on around the world. He's not going to talk about the Epstein files, of course. So, um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be discussed tonight. And Trump loves to talk, so he's going to have a lot of things to kind of touch on. So we'll see. Yeah, he's going to talk about. So let's make a list of things that he may talk about tonight. Trump topics, Trump State of the Union topics. So of course, Iran conflict, uh, maybe Greenland conflict, um, global tariffs, U.S. economy, Bitcoin. There's a lot of different things that he's gonna be talking about. These are like kind of the big ones. Where's Bitcoin at right now? Curious. So it's sitting around 60, 65. I think Bitcoin's probably gonna drop more. Yeah, this thing is not even close to coming to the low. It's dumped quite a bit. It's gonna dump more, I think. So I think after the State of the Union address, it's probably gonna. Well, I don't know. It depends. What depends on what Trump says about Bitcoin. The thing is, like Trump is so wishy-washy about Bitcoin. He's either like supporting it or he's not supporting it. So depending on what he says today, it could really push price. And then for someone like Steven who likes to trade gold, it's gonna be highly impacted. I think Bitcoin could drop down to 30. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if this support doesn't hold, it's going to drop down further. And it's not holding, it's retesting right now. So I think Bitcoin could drop. I mean, it could drop down to 20, I think. If it drops down to 20, I'm gonna buy a bunch of Bitcoin. I'm gonna buy like maybe like 100K of Bitcoin. Because if I do that and it pushes back up to 60, then I make a pretty good amount of money on that. Yeah, because obviously if I do 100,000, I don't know, sorry, 100,000. So I could buy a 5 Bitcoin, and then if it jumps up, that's quite a bit, right? Five times, we'll say 40,000. Yeah, basically double up to one or two. I mean, 20 is a long shot, a very, very long shot. But if it drops down there, I'll buy some. I'm not going to buy anything around this middle area because this is just like, this just area where it can probably range for a while. But if it does a sharp decline to like 20, I think that's really it's maybe 20 is over. It's wishful thinking. 25 is probably going to be more realistic. I mean, not realistic, but that's where I would like to get in. 40s, yeah, Daniel said 45, I think is your real target. 45, yeah, 45 is I could see it realistically getting there. That's realistic. But I don't think it's a well, I mean, it's a discount to some people, but to me, I don't think it's a discount. I want this thing to really drop, like drop super low. And I'm holding, let me see. Fuck, what am I doing? I'm holding Ethereum right now. And I'm getting effed by Ethereum right now because I have like I forgot I had like Ethereum that was just sitting in my Coinbase account and it's been getting screwed. Damn, this thing dumped so much. I should have just sold off earlier. Nah, it's fine. I mean, I don't even care. I forgot about this. Like I have Ethereum. I have like maybe a 20, 50K of Ethereum that I've been holding on to it for like forever. I forgot about it. It's just Coinbase didn't email me for a while. And I started getting emails from Coinbase with my weekly portfolio. And it's like down like 20% or whatever. So I'm holding this and I'm also holding Solana. I forgot I had Solana. I have cryptos that I don't even remember holding. Yeah, I'm getting screwed on all of them basically. Solana and Ethereum, I'm not going to touch them. They're just going to sit there. But yeah, for something like Bitcoin, I'm really waiting for like something to dump because Bitcoin's so expensive, right? Can't really buy Bitcoin for like if I was to buy Bitcoin right now, it just wouldn't make sense. If I dropped any lower, it's like I'm going to lose some, but I'm not going to make a ton. So yeah, in order for me to really feel comfortable buying Bitcoin, I need it to drop. I need to dump, dump, dump. But we'll see. It's gonna recover. It's just a matter of time until it does. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. It's 8:06 right now. Price is still kind of just pushing around. We're just in this consolidation phase right now. There's nothing to take. Price is just going back and forth. If you guys want to keep trading, I mean, feel free to keep trading, but I think market's gonna stay pretty flat for today. Um, And then again, like later tonight, Trump's State of the Union address is going to happen at, I think, 6 o'clock, between 6 and 8. I don't know exactly the time. Actually, no, it said 6 o'clock over here. Yeah, Trump's State of the Union speech is going to be at 6 o'clock. I don't know if it's going to be on time. Trump's never on time. So we'll shoot for maybe like 6:30. But all right, if you guys are looking to get into some trades here still, actually there's a nice setup right here. There's an MPSV2 that just came up right there. There's a lower low with a green candle buy signal engulfing right here. This is a MPSV2. This is one thing I noticed yesterday too. So I sat on the live, well, I didn't sit on the live session, but I came back to look at what was happening after the live session was done yesterday. Between like 8 o'clock and like 10 o'clock, there was a lot of entries that came up. Basically, every time a low came up or a lower low with the green candle or a higher high with the red candle, it actually played out pretty nicely and it went straight through. I'm not going to jump into any positions here because this is going to be against against my trading criteria. But if you guys do want to jump into any positions right here, this is an MPS. There's actually an MPSPA, which is running, and MPSV2 as well. And there might be a high-low break and retest right here for anybody who's looking to get into that. This goes against my trading rules, so I'm not going to trade it, but it's after 8 o'clock. Yeah, exactly. Daniel said after 8. I know. It finally came up at after 8 o'clock, right? Lower low, buy signal, V1 variation engulfing. Nice confluences right here, right? We have three reversal candles here. So we have a reversal candle right there, and right there. These all push to the upside, and we have a buy signal right there. Consolidation into expansion, but it's after 8 o'clock. This is very risky. The reason why this is risky is because price can just die out. Volatility can just get flat, and you could be stuck in this position for like 20 minutes to an hour. So I personally wouldn't take it. If you do want to take it, I think 40 points would be a better target so you can get out of it quickly, or not quickly, but within like a reasonable amount of time. Otherwise, if you're going for 60 points, expect to hold on to this for like maybe 10 to 20 minutes. Um, I could even put it in here. So let's see, 10:07 or 8:07. I could tell you exactly how long it takes for this to usually hit because I have the data here. This isn't even a good trade. You can see it has a 33% or 32% win ratio. It's break even basically. And you can see over here, these trades usually run for about 6 minutes for both loss or win. Wins run for about 8 minutes, losses run for about five. So, I mean, there's possibility for it to hit. It's just it has a 50% probability here for buys. And it might just kind of sit there for a bit. CJ said, don't forget anyone that wants to buy Apex accounts, the 90% off ends today. Yeah, thanks, CJ. So if you guys want to buy an account with Apex, um, today's going to be the last day. So they're 90% off. You're probably not going to get a deal like this for a while. I'll go and just put the updates over here again for those of you who want to get an account. Just make sure to use that code. That code will give you the 90% off. If you use a different code, you're probably going to get 80% off or less, or 50% off. Here's everyone's profits for the day. Nice work, Steven. Locked in about 17 right there. Roland over here locked in 2,642. Steven, some more profits. And the big move over here from Paul. Great work, guys. So, all right, guys, that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Here are CJ's entries for the day. So CJ over here locked in these big 150-point moves, big push to the upside, and then basically liquidity grab both ways. The breakout and liquidity grab to the upside, and then liquidity grab to the downside. I'll try to mark up these liquidity grabs a little more often. I'm going to be focused on it more because now it's going to be one of the strategies I'll be looking for. So I'll be looking at these liquidity grabs for possible opportunities for entry. I'm really just trying to get one entry in, like I said before. Ideally, I'd like to get these algo entries in, but you can see if I don't get it in early, then I'm kind of screwed at the end of the session because it just dies out. So, all right, guys, I think that is it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, great day today. A lot of entries. Let's see how many entries came up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 entries today, and I couldn't get one. I couldn't get one entry, man. It's it's crazy from hindsight, right? Looking at it from hindsight and having all these entries marked up, we actually identified these real time. So I did have opportunity to get in. It was just, price was overextended and I was kind of scared to chase it. And then this was against the trend. So obviously I was scared to chase it. This over here, same thing. I had issues with my execution. But I think tomorrow I just got to take that risk, right? Hopefully tomorrow this continues to move like this and we'll have some more opportunities. Again, here's the MPS, guys. The MPS is currently running in profit. And then the high low break and retest over here actually hasn't closed yet. But if this candle does close above, you can catch that retest off that level. It's going to be at 262. But all right, guys, I'll leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we are all done for the day, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys.